Hi everyone, welcome to Workshop Wednesday. I'm finally back live and boy have I been busy since I've returned. Can you see, look at all those blue buckets back there? Those are all the classes, all the stuff that I've been creating since I got back. I have our sweet surprise, my Let's Create class, a retreat coming up, my workshop Wednesday. What else do I have? Oh, another class, the homemade treats class coming. So a bunch of stuff. I've been nonstop busy since I've returned. So I'll share the two classes with you in just a bit when I turn the camera down that are going on right now. The Sweet Surprise, we're doing the Lights of Aurora. And then my Let's Create class for this month, which is using the Peace on Earth bundle. So glad to be back. Let's go ahead and turn you guys down and get started with today's project. It's a fun one. So it is great to be back. Let me tape down my grid paper. You know, I love having my grid paper. So our trip was a very good trip. This time we got to see a lot of people, especially at the wedding. The wedding was amazing. Perfect. Couldn't ask for a better day. Just everything was great. So I'm so happy to be back with you guys live before my next trip. I do have another trip coming up next month, but I have been nonstop busy since I got back. Let me show you a couple of classes that I have going on right now, or our October Sweet Surprise kit that I do with my friends Heather Guerrero and Patty Davison. This we got out late because of me. It was my fault. I was trying to get so much done before I left that I didn't get my project done, so I held everything up. Normally we get this out sooner. So registration on this one is going to end November 2nd. So for $45, you know, our Sweet Surprise, this month we're doing the Lights of Aurora. Let me find, where is my stamp set and bundle? It's called Light and Wonder. So this is not included, but we featured this in the suite of products. So some of my stuff that I was working on. So you're going to get 10 sheets of the coordinating colored cardstock plus 2 sheets of white. You're going to get a half a package of the 6x6 Lights of Aurora Designer Series paper, a full bolt of the Balmy Blue sheer ribbon, a full pack of the, these are my favorite, frosted iridescent dots, and you're going to get a project kits for each of the 3 projects that we have created. So they're going to have all the supplies to make your 3 projects. You will have to use some of your designer series paper, but any die cuts that's not in the bundle, we will provide for you. So like here's a packet, mine for my card. So you'll get 3, 1 for each project. And then here's a sneak peek at my project. This bundle is so fun to work with. But that's my card. I haven't had a chance to make the other 2. This card, usually I like to make all 3 of our cards. So again, registration is going to close November 2nd. So for $45, you get all of that, plus the PDF tutorial. So we do a tutorial for each of our projects. And shipping, and you'll get a Sweet Surprise gift. All right, so if you have any questions or anything, I will put the registration link. I'm going to add the links in the comments, because sometimes when you add a link to the post, it doesn't, that's Facebook kicks it off for some reason. And I don't know, I could have asked a lot of questions. I went on a tour to Facebook while I was in California. We always get to go as family. Our friend Sky, she took us, and I could have asked a bunch of questions, but I was so much in awe at everything else going on. So my November Let's Create card class kit to go is featuring the Peace on Earth bundle. And in this one, you're going to get the pre-cut elements to make 8 cards. So 2 of each card. 2 cards, 4 designs. Here's the first one. This little thing pops out. There's this one. And this one has a belly band. And it opens like so. And there's this one that ties closed. This is such a pretty bundle. And it goes like that. And we use a designer series paper to make this card. And then this one. So you're going to have this. You're going to make 2 of each of these. You will use some of your supplies. So you're going to get also the glimmer paper. 3 sheets, 1 each of the glimmer paper. You're going to get a half a package of the Peaceful Garden Designer Series paper. I didn't pull it out, but you use it on all of the cards. And a bolt of the silver edged ribbon, which I guess I didn't pull that out. You guys, I'm all over the place. I have so many classes going on that I'm just trying to keep them all straight. So the bolt of the Misty Moonlight Silver Edged Ribbon, you're going to get a package of the Hues of Blues flowers, which, let me find them. Or instead of me finding them, you could see that I've used them on my projects, and they come with the different colors because they're probably in the bottom of my embellishment drawer right now. And here they are. I thought I had all this stuff out. So you're going to get a package of these as well. And again, this class is $45. And that's the to-go option. Or you can do the November class in person, November 14th here in Rio Rancho. And again, you'll make your cards and you'll get all your goodies to go with it. So if you have any questions about that class, let me know. Again, I'll put the registration links when my video is done in the comments. So that way you could see, so you could get it. All right. So if you want today's PDF tutorial, join my email list. Again, I'll put the link in the comments. All my links are going to go in the comments because otherwise it's going to get kicked off. And you can share my video. When you share my video, you'll be entered into a prize drawing. And this week I have a little embellishment pack that I will send out. Hi, Sandy. How are you? I'm so glad you joined me. I sent all my prizes out for all my videos that were shared while I was gone. Prizes all went out today, went to the post office. All right, so let's get started with today's project. So today's project is this cute little Santa's box. So I like the little box alone, but what goes inside this box is we have some handmade tags. We have 5 different tags, and we're using the Christmas Tags and More Designer Series paper. Unfortunately, this one is out of stock right now, but it will be coming back in November. I'll have to look up the date because I know the dates change. So it comes with the Designer Series paper and then a bunch of the die cuts. I already pulled out the die cuts that I'm going to use, but you get, I can't remember if it was like 2 or 4 sheets because I punched all mine out. But there's just a bunch of little cute die cuts. So you can see we use them all here. So, shall we get started with our box? My poor box has gotten smushed because I've had it all over. Let's do the box, and then while the box like dries, then we can do our tags. The tags are going to be super easy to get put together. So we need a 5 by 5.5. I guess I could have cut the other. I could have cut it 5.5 way, then did the 5s. 5 by 5.5. So we're going to need 2 pieces because we need our top and our bottom. And we're going to score all 4 sides at 1 inch on both pieces. This is pretty much going to go together pretty easy. 1 inch. Is everybody ready for this time change? I just realized it. You know, I love Halloween, and I guess just coming back, I haven't been able to get in the mood. I went and got my Halloween candy yesterday because I needed groceries. We usually get a lot of trick-or-treaters, but I didn't realize this Sunday we're moving our clocks back, fall back, and then spring forward. Okay, so all 4 sides at 1 inch on both pieces. Okay, you know, you might notice I have a sweatshirt on. California, it was like cold, but not extremely cold. We could handle it. I wore shorts some of the days. We did have a few days of rain, but nothing drastic. And now here this morning we got down to 31 degrees. I don't know if I'm ready, but I've been like cold all day, even when I went out. So we're going to cut these. Now, these really doesn't matter. You can cut it on this side or this side. The long side, short side. They're all going to go inside. So I always like to angle mine. But yeah, we're starting to get cold. They told us anything we had growing outside, it's not going to be growing after today. So I did bring my amaryllis in. My poor garden, it was suffering because we weren't here to water it. So, okay, and then we'll do the same on this one. Cut those little angles. I really, really, really missed my craft room. Although I was just nonstop busy in California. We did so much. Like I said, we got to see a lot more than usual because it's like, you know, you're trying to see your kids, trying to see my mother-in-law, trying to see friends. We had the wedding, so we were gone for at least 3 or 4 days there. Okay, so now we're just going to glue these all in. I do have my little clothespins. Let's see if they're going to keep popping up apart. All right. Oh my goodness. I got a little tickle in my throat, and I don't think I have my cup of water in here. Oh, I do. Wasn't sure if I had my cup of water. So I have 2 more classes that I've been working on. We have a retreat coming up. So my friends, Patty and Heather, that we do the sweet surprise together. We're doing a retreat with the gingerbread man bundle. I was working on my tutorial all day today. The tutorials take quite a bit of time. When you're trying to put instructions into words, it's a little, I don't have another clothespin. So I'm going to hold these two for a second. All right, that's a quick second. We're going to move those aside and let's cut our pieces of cardstock for our little Santa. I put all this stuff in here. So we're going to need a piece where let's do his belt buckle. And then I think we can do, okay, so his belt, the black piece that goes across is 3/4 inch. Let's see, 3/4 inch by 3. I had time to do my nails. You see, I did those for Halloween. Okay, 3/4 inch by 3. And then the gold is going to be 1 inch. 1 inch, this might be 1 inch by 3/4. I know these are tiny pieces. And then 3/4 inch by 1/2. So let's do the 1/2. Hopefully that don't move. And then 3/4. And so these are, you can use, they're all scraps. I even pulled scraps to make my tags. Okay. So we're gonna need a piece, the white for his collar is going to be 3 by 1/2 inch. And I think that's it on the cutting for right now until we get to our die cutting. All right, so hopefully my box fits. One fits over the other. I didn't use a shim. Sometimes you want to use a shim, but I kind of wanted this box to be tight since it's going to hold the tags. Not like they're too heavy, but you could put something else in this box. It doesn't have to be the tags. But if you have that designer series paper and you need to use up all those die cuts, so this one is going to go at the top of our box. This one is going to go about 3/4 inch from the bottom. I would say about 3/4 inch. Maybe a little higher. Oops. Is that about 3/4? And then we're going to glue our gold in the center. This is the buckle. We're making it look like a buckle. And so your buckle could be gold, it could be silver, and then we're going to put our little, oops, oh my goodness, I'm going to have glue all over. Put that right center. Is that center? Looks a little bit crooked. Where's that glue? Try and get that off. All right. And then now let's do some die cutting. So on this piece here, we're going to use, this is the 4th to the smallest party banner die. But I didn't want you to cut out a full banner because we only need just this bottom part. So this piece is going to be 1 inch by 2.5, but this one's probably not even 2.5. This is 3, but it was the scrap from the other, so we're gonna use that. And then we're gonna cut all our tags. So we just wanna make sure that we line the bottom of the die up to the bottom of the cardstock. I needed to make a collar for him. The box just looked too plain, so I wanted to make a collar. And then it was funny, I tried to make, oh, well here, since I have that die out, we're gonna cut all these flags. So I already have my garden green one. I guess I accidentally cut an extra one, so I already had it. This is gonna be cherry cobbler. And all of these pieces of cardstock are 2.5 by 3.25. And again, this is the 4th to the smallest of the party banner dies. Okay, now let's get a soft, or here, crumb cake. I've been using these banner dies quite a bit. They're very useful, and there's so many sizes. Yes, they are quite pricey, but you know what? Right now with our starter kit special, and you only have a few more days, you can get those in your starter kit. If you choose the $99 option, which I think that's how much those dies are, you'll still get to pick, $189 in product. So you'll still have roughly another $90 in product for $99. Is that crazy or what? And there's no commitment. I know that the economy is a little questionable right now. And then that's kind of why you should get in on the deal, because you don't want to miss out. You know, you can get almost over double of what you would normally get. Okay, so here's our tags. So now this piece, we're going to put this on with dimensionals. I wanted to pop it up. But have you been wanting like the cut and emboss machine? Have you been wanting to stock up on all the Stampin' Blend colors? Right now is really the time to do it. You cannot beat it. So we're going to put that right, like trying to center it between the ends. Right like so. Let me show these banner dies. These are the banners. How many come in here? There's 20 pieces, but I don't think it's, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And these ones, they cut the holes. I could have did all the holes, but we're not. But again, I think these are roundabouts $99. So if you choose that $99 option, you still have $90 to choose from. Okay, so back to here. If you have any questions, just let me know. I have this small circle punch. Again, the dies, they have the punch for the hole, but I'm just going to punch in the center of all of them. And there's really no right or wrong position on these. They're tags. Okay, so now we are going to stamp. I have the to and from the traditional labels. So this is the stamp set we're going to use. And then I have one die and this stamp as an option to use. But we're going to use to and from. And I'm going to use Memento Black. Where's my little, see that glue's right there. This eraser thing is like the best. If you got adhesives and you need to get them out of the way, this is the best. You get one of these when you purchase my adhesive kit too. All right, so on the back side, we're just gonna, let's line them all up. The back side, and the back side. They're all in the camera, right? Just checking to make sure I don't miss any comments. And I'm going to stamp 2. And I'm going to stamp mine at an angle. I could have used a smaller block. Not sure why I grabbed this one. And then now we're going to stamp from. Because in that way you could fill these out when you put them on your gifts. This is optional. You don't even, again, you don't have to stamp this, but since we have the stamps, why not use them? Okay, so now all of these are stamped. I am going to pull up my instructions so then I could put them together the way I showed you. So the way that they're in here, that's the way that you'll put them together with the PDF. All right, so we're starting with, actually I almost have them right. I think they just go like this. All right, so let's start with the cherry cobbler. Now watch how easy these go together. So again, I already pulled out, these are die cuts that are already done for you. So let's get our cherry cobbler. This is the one we're gonna make. And so this one, we are gonna add dimensionals behind it. And we only need a couple of dimensionals. And then we're gonna glue the other two. So on this one, I'm gonna add glue to, this would be the left side. Just, you don't need to put it all the way because it's not gonna stick. Just like so, move it down. And then this one, it'll go on the right side. And we're just gonna do the half like so, and then stick that one on there. These can hang off if you want them to. They're tags. If you want something to put under there, you can put a mini dimensional. Mini dimensionals will work. Let me show you. Let's squeeze a mini dimensional under here if you want. But see that they're just tags. I know I keep saying they're just tags, but they're gorgeous tags, aren't they? All right, so we're gonna use some traditional sequins, some traditional sparkling sequins, and I'm using these green ones, and we're just gonna put a couple in the corners. And then I got my red and white twine, and I'm gonna tie a bow, and then my scissors and get a mini glue dot. These are kind of hard to see. And set that right in the middle. I got a glue dot stuck to my finger here. All right, and that one's done until we need to put our string on. Okay, so next is the crumb cake. So this one, here's all our pieces. This is actually a die cut of this designer series paper. So we're just gonna glue this on. There's gonna be a little bit left over the edges that we'll trim. And I probably should have put my silicone mat down because I'm just going to get glue all over again. All right, so now this one, now you could wait to punch your hole, or like since I already did it, I could just line it up. See, I lined it up there and then punch a hole again. It's up to you if you want to do them all at once or however after. Where is my little... So these ones, we're going to use some mini dimensionals. We're going to put these stockings on our card. Or I should say our tag, not a card. So you'll have 5 tags when you're done. And they'll all fit into our cute little Santa box. And then I'm just overlapping these slightly at the top because we have this little tiny bow. That's another die cut. And I'm going to use a glue dot to put this one on. And your glue dot, you know, you can roll it in half to make it smaller. See how I made it smaller? Fit on the back there. And then we're just going to put it right in the center of our 2 stockings. I like how Stampin' Up's been doing these die cut sheets in the designer series paper. I forgot to pull out our tag. There's our tag. So we're gonna just add 4 of these blue ones. I'm not sure if this is Pool Party. Kind of putting them in the center of the diamonds. This one might not line up, but it's okay. All right, so look, easy peasy, another one done. Let's see, let me move the ones that I've already done because we're strings. We have to add our strings to them. Okay, so next we're doing the cardinal one. So let me grab my cardinal pieces. And the cardinal is going on with dimensionals. I should have grabbed some more dimensionals. I tell you, I've been creating non-stop since I got back. First thing I did was hop into my craft room that next morning. Well, if you guys get my emails, you know already. So we're just going to put this on the center. Now our cardinal, he's going to get glued on. And again, we're not going to add it like where the tail is because he's not fully going to be on the tag, or on the wreath, I should say. Wreath. And then we're going to add some of our sparkling sequins. Again, let's add some red ones to the wreath. And then I really like these. I'm going to go with this medium size. These green ones. And then look, there's that tag. Oops, wait, what happened to my, oh, it got stuck behind, I was like, what happened to my tag? It got stuck. All right, so now we'll do the real red tag, which is the Christmas tree. And where's those pieces? So here's the Christmas tree. We're gonna put that on with some dimensionals. And we could probably use a mini one towards the top. See how easy these tags are coming together? So there, oops. So this little guy here, I'm gonna get my take your pick tool and use my putty side and just put a little bit of glue, because this guy's gonna go right in the center of the tree, like so, glued. The other ones are gonna get put on with the dimensional, but what I did is I put a dimensional here next to the tree, and then we can just put that right like so. And let's put another mini dimensional over here. Take that off. Get our other gift and put it there. Easy, right? Look, I didn't realize I used the green again. I think you all know that green's my favorite color, but I didn't realize I used it. You can use any colors. You can use a mixture on here. Look, let's add some little gold ones too. And you could add the little ones on the tree for a, like lights. All right, so now that one is done. So now just down to our green, garden green, which is the poinsettia. And having a hard time grabbing these pieces. This one is going to go on with dimensionals. How many of you have this designer series paper already? It was so popular, that's why it's on back order. Very popular. And we're just gonna angle it like so. And now this holly leaf, again, what you can do is you can put a dimensional and then just put the holly leaf right behind on there. And then our little bow, we're gonna put on with, did I use dimensionals? I already forgot. Yes, I did. I thought I did. A mini one, and we're gonna have to cut it in half because this bow's so thin, narrow. Make sure it doesn't take off on me. Last time I cut mine, it flew away and I had to find it. So we're just gonna use a half. If I could get it unstuck from me. And then I think I'll cut one more for the the legs, the ribbon. Cut it in half again. You know, we do have our foam adhesive strips, which might be better. But trying to dig those out. Okay, there. I'm going to put this glue away for a minute. I'm surprised I left that off. And we're going to add our bow to our poinsettia. I wish this one was a different color because red on the red. But you know what you can do is add some Wink of Stella and it'll just make it look a little different. And there's our bow. You know, it'll bring out it'll be a different tone here. Look, I have it. And it'll be a sparkly bow. It'll give it a different texture look. Okay, so this time I used the gold. I used the gold ones. So let's put a gold one here. I think I'm using the big ones and I had used the medium. Let's take that one off and there. So there is our other tag. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut like 8 inches of the red and white twine. So I already have 3 of them made, so you didn't have to sit here and watch me cut and tie. So 8 inches. And I'm sorry, my camera's not showing the bottom of my measuring, but it's 8 inches. So what I do with mine is I bring them together at the top. I tie a knot. Pull it through. And so that you have this loop like so. Then I'm just going to feed my loop right through my hole and then feed this through and then pull it. And there's your tag or your tie on your tag. Here's the ones I already did. Like I said, so you don't have to sit here and watch me do them all. But again, tie in the knot at the top. Pull it as tight as you can. Let's snip that little thing. Feed it through. And I do have to confess, this is not the baker's twine that we currently have. I already had this one, so I was using it. I can't find the one that I ordered, so I ordered a new one. And it's on it. Well, it should be on its way soon. But you might notice this one has a little sparkle to it. I had to run and find my twine because I don't know what happened. I think I was using it on the retreat and somehow it got misplaced. I have my Let's Create class. I have the Sweet Surprise kit. I have a Homemade Treats class that I'm working on. I have the retreat that we're finishing up. I am just one busy gal. So I have stuff like everywhere. Not to mention designing my workshop Wednesday project. So there are our 5 tags. Did I get something sticky on there? I don't know what I got on there. But hopefully nobody will notice. So we're gonna put all of our tags inside our little box, and I'm not done with my box yet. They all fit in there nicely. But like I said, you could put anything in here. Okay, so now what I did is I used the Real Red ribbon, and I measured, I want to say like 10 inches. It was 10 inches. I'll just go ahead and show you. But I cut it in half. I'm going to start over here. I can see down here where my 10 inches are because I see that you can't see it. I didn't realize that my measures at the bottom were cut off. Okay, so all I did is I cut it in half lengthwise. And again, this does not have to be perfectly cut, just as long as you're doing it in half. And 10 inches might be kind of long. We're probably going to trim it, but my big fingers, I need a lot to tie. So now I have 2 more. All right, so we're just going to tie our bow, or let's start at this side. Tie our bow. And I did this way long, because we just kind of want a tiny bow to go on his collar. And then trim. Like I said, you might not need 10 inches, but my fingers are a little chubby, so I like to have some more. I have my glue dots. Did I get one on there? I did. And just put that right in the center. So now here's what's optional. We can stamp this and die cut it, and then you can put this on here. It's up to you. Do you want to add it or leave it? I kind of like the box, but I did like this, so I want to give you guys the option. So let me, I think I used my piece of basic white for I have time to look at all my white scraps. So on this one, we're gonna die cut it first, then stamp. I love how the stamp is set up to go with the die. And I'll show you what I mean. So we're gonna die cut. So this is the traditional labels. It comes, this is one of the dies in the bundle. This bundle actually has a lot of nice dies. I will show you. They have a lot of label dies. Look at how, and these are like, they have designs on them. They're all intricate, really nice, and they all coordinate and fit. So this one, it's actually one stamp, see, but it's gonna stamp both sentiments. So see how it lines up? They have it perfectly done. And I think it can go either way, so it doesn't matter which way. If you think you have it the wrong way, that looks right, right? Or does it go one way? Anyhow, we're gonna stamp this in Garden Green. And if you choose to put it on yours, I did include this all in the instructions, but if you do choose to put it on yours, put it with dimensionals. And then there's other sentiments. 'Tis the season. I wasn't sure what to put. I wanted to put just Mary, or, you know, just the word Mary, or just for you. But again, I couldn't decide. What do you guys think? With or without? With, without. It's up to you. So we're going to do the one, and I will put dimensionals on it. I am really running out of my dimensionals here. And we'll just add it on there. I probably could have put my belt a little bit further down. I got them in about the same spot. So there you go. That's today's project. If you have this designer series paper, be sure and use all these little die cuts and make tags. These are cute little gifts, again, to give to people. And you don't have to put a sentiment. There's with or without. It's up to you. You get to make the choice of how you want to make it. Well, you always get the choice on how you want to make your projects. I just give you the ideas. I think I like the without as well, Sandy. That's why I didn't put it on my original. I really like the cuteness of the box alone. You don't need a greeting really for tags. But if you were to put something else in it, and I'm almost thinking they have like the little Russell Stovers. They should have them coming at Christmas time. It's a Santa chocolate. They have caramel. They have coconut. I'm pretty sure one of those will fit in here as well. So it's up to you. Again, I just give you an idea and you create what you want to create. But thank you guys for joining me today. And I will see you next Wednesday with another fun project. You guys have a great rest of your evening and a great week. You take care. Bye-bye.